Hello friends and welcome back. I am sorry for the wait, but I wanted to make a 3-year anniversary update video. As you can see in the clan chat, I've been officially in the clan for 3 years, which means my account is now 3 years old. So I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a progress update. As for what's happening with the YouTube series, I am probably just going to do monthly updates now. I would still like to make content for you guys, but I don't have the time anymore, so we're going to be doing smaller, quicker, and less kind of in-depth videos, but I would still like to make some sort of progress videos, so we're going to be focusing on a bunch of different things. But that aside, as you guys can see, I've been working pretty hard on my skills. I got 120 Herblore recently, and I'm working towards some of the other 120s right now. But besides for my skills, I know you guys probably want to see the more important thing, which is going to be the 3-year Ironman bank. And I have spent the past week, literally a week, doing nothing else in the game but organizing. But I think it came out really nicely, so I'm excited for you guys to see it. Alright, so first things first, we have our PvM gear setup. There's a lot of upgrades since, actually, I don't know if I made a bank video before, but there have been a lot of upgrades since I maxed. Namely, I started going to Virago, so I have Tectonic, and I'm actually working, as you can see, I have a full set of Tectonic, Masterwork, and Serenic on one side, and Serenic, Masterwork, and Tectonic on the other side. You might be wondering what's going on there. So my left-hand side is going to be my Elite set, so that's just going to be all of my gear that I'm, when I'm actually doing high-end content, but I don't want to use my Elite set because that's a little bit harder to upkeep. So on the right side, that's going to be solely used for Elite dungeons, and that's one thing that I've really been looking forwards to, is actually getting Elite stuff done so I can start running ED1, 2, 3, and 4, so that way I can start grinding out that stuff without too much of a base cost. Also, of course, we have Necromancy that has come out, so we have the full Death Dealer outfit, and as well as the Raziel set. We are currently at a 2 out of the 5 pieces of armor, and we don't have any weapons. So just a sidebar here, but one of the struggles that I found with organizing my bank is I like things to be vertical, and I like things to kind of go down in a pattern, but that's kind of an issue when not everything aligns vertically. So I found that if you just line it sideways, it eventually ends up looking better, and it's actually a lot easier to trace through. I've been using this for about a couple of days now, and I think I prefer it much, much better. Obviously, it's nice to have the separation between the weapons and the other gear, but when it comes to just like full-on armor sets, it's nice to have the top section looking gorgeous, but otherwise I kind of like the horizontal stacking. Moving on to our PvM Supplies tab. This one, I've got to admit it, it's just straight up sexy. So starting at the top, we have all of our Overload potions, we have our Prayer Renewals, we've got our Wormfire potions, we have our Spiritual Prayer potions, Sarah Brews, Restores, Gothic Sprues, Weapon Poison+++, Adrenaline Renewal, and our Extended Anti-Fire. We have smaller versions of the potions that I'm going to use for maybe doing something like a Slayer task. That way I don't have to make flasks for them. Familiars in the top section with all of our pages for our books. Incense sticks, so you got Lantidime Quorum, and oh, that last one is going to bug me, but that one's for Slayer. Got our bomb vials, our refreshes, dummies, charges, powders, and then materials for charging back up gear. Below that, ammo, runes, nothing crazy. I have to say I'm really excited for the new Ectoplasm Ritual. We're probably going to be making like 100,000 of that soon. I've just got to get a couple of things in order, but that is pretty much the Combat Supplies tab. On to the Skilling Gear tab. So obviously following a theme of gear, supplies, gear, supplies. So here we have all of the urns that we use, a wide variety of capes that are actually useful, where I am going to use the ability, but they didn't necessarily have an outfit. I then chose my top 10 favorite outfits that I use most constantly. So on a daily basis, you know, I do divination, I do a rune crafting daily, wood cutting, that kind of thing, farming. And then some less common ones, but are very useful if I am going to go do something. So like fishing, construction for Crocius, that kind of thing. Following it down, we've got the pouches that we actually use. I was debating about whether these are supplies or not, but they do kind of just fit better in my mind in here than they do in the other tab, and I'll show you why later. And then basically just all of our gear that is required for skilling. There's no real order to it. You might notice that I am missing some of my skilling outfits, and again, that's just because A, I kind of want to save on space, and B, I don't really use them on a daily basis. You can see that I have the fletching outfit at the bottom there, and that's just because I was using it recently. Trying to keep the bank as clean as possible, keep it lean, because I know before I was in fact hoarding, where I was like, okay, I need to have every outfit, I need to have everything here. So I think this is a much better system, but we'll see. Maybe in year 4, I will have just totally changed up this arrangement. Okay, scaling supplies tab. So this one is a little bit more chaotic, so I'm actually going to start drawing things on screen to help you out here. So we have our Perfect Plus potions and our power bursts that are relevant to skilling. I believe one is sorcery and the other is smithing. Crafting, of course, we've got to have everything aligned, followed by fletching. That worked out quite nicely there. And then wood cutting with the spirits, the logs, and the planks. Then we have our incense sticks making, our summoning collection with charms and common secondaries that get used next to the charms. So you got green and then abyssal. So abyssal is used by green. Definitely need to go farm out some more nihils, but I feel like as soon as I do that, I just make the pouches anyway. So those are pretty much always sitting empty there. Lots of the new Necro Essence as well as the current Essence. I think I do have some still in my ritual chest, so I should probably go grab that. Our divination, we are slowly working towards 120 divination through engrams. Moving down, we've got some necro supplies, followed up by some more crafting supplies. I don't know. I don't use it as much. The rest of it's kind of pretty chaotic down here. We've got some flowers for hunter. We've got our food for big game hunter, empty charges, and some geodes. The next and probably most interesting tab for other Ironmen is probably going to be my Herblore tab. So Herblore outfit and 120 cape. 120 came in probably about 3 months ago. I've been doing triple dailies to try and get 120. Finally got it, and it has been a blessing for overload making. All core seeds. So basically, the way I define a core seed is whether it has a constant use in my PvMing. So adrenaline pots are going to be number 1. It's kind of in order of priority. I've mixed in some other things in there just to help out spacing. So you'll see the growth potions in there. But typically everything goes left to right for the most part. So I do try and put the most expansive potions up top. And then as we work down, we'll start seeing more ingredients on the right-hand side. Basically, once you get, again, to the bottom of the tab, it's a bit more of a chaotic mess. I'm trying to keep it clean. Again, I'm probably going to use the infinity sign tab up here to actually keep all of my loose items and then keep the tabs as clean as possible so that way they don't get muddled. This one's going to be short and sweet. This is my dailies tab, stuff that I use on dailies and engineering cards. So your tokens. You have your sandstone and you've got maps. So if I do get a map, I try and do it. I'm slowly working towards the sandy title. Again, I'm working on so many different things just simultaneously, but it is good to stay on top of all of those different things. Oh my goodness, I am going to lose my voice. It's been a while since I've tried to speed talk my way through a video. Our clue tabs. Our clue tab is starting off with the shadow die that we did get from the giant oyster, a ice die that we got from like elite number 152 or something, 2 soul dies that I got from an event, and an aurora die that I got from an event. One of the bigger accomplishments that I achieved recently is I completed the Globetrotter outfit. I just sat down, did a bunch of masters, and eventually got the points for it. It's going to be a game changer. I'm really looking forward to completing the clue log and just trying to get through easies, then mediums, then hards, and slowly do elites and masters and try and get some cool things there. I still think I'm going to just not, unless it's required for PvM to distinguish between items, I probably won't dye anything and just create a dye collection in this tab because it's already looking pretty lovely. Of course, we have our more commons, our skip tickets, our pages, and then I'm slowly working towards, as you can see, there's a semi-organization of black into adamant, into rune, into dragonhide or whatever, and I'm basically, I have everything unlocked that I need for clues. So at the top here you can see all of the different teleports that I use for a variety of different difficulties. One thing that I don't have for clues right now that I'm slowly working towards is a Dagon High hat. I did have it during the quest, apparently. I don't remember getting it. I definitely knew I needed it, so I wouldn't have dropped it. But here we are. So rather unfortunate that that's missing, but that is the only hidey hole that I have left to fill. So once that's done, we're going to be doing a ton of clues, and I look forward to doing openings for you guys when I get around to doing those. Next up, nothing crazy, a little farming tab. So we have food, into honeycombs, into rerolls, into, well, the collection of farm animals. I am currently working through finishing, well, not finishing, I'm like halfway through it, but doing completionist log things where I'm getting all the different breeding types. So I think I've done arcane, I've done brutish, and I'm working on spicati. And then on the farm side of things, I'm working through chinchompas and working through sheep. I still need to do cows because I still need the harlequin, but slowly working my way through completionist things on that side of things, as well as making sure that I'm getting my dino roars and other things to actually sustain my herblore and, again, sustain my PvM, which is everything on this endgame iron account. This is a general loot tab. So as you can see, I have my Viswax that I try and only use for auras. I've stopped extending daily challenges. They come when they come. My Triskelion key count. So if you didn't know, I'm working towards 1,000 Triskelions. We're basically a quarter of the way there. Archaeology farming has been massive for this. And when I start doing some other bosses and other creatures that have a high chance at the rare drop table, that will also come in. Almost 12,000 crystal keys. Again, working towards a big collection here. We're going for 100,000. So that's not going to be open for a while. And then a bunch of the other keys that we're working towards. Chests, unfortunately, I did do a big opening. I was up to 2,000-ish troves. But I did an opening to make some overloads once I got 120, so I kind of caved there, and that will probably be the only time that I cave. We've got some other alchemals down there, some tokens for EDs, anything that's just worth elking, and we got death touch darts and mimic kill tokens. So anything that's a collectible that looks nice, that isn't dropped by anything in particular, comes in here. Next up, we have our boss tabs. So starting at the top, we have a ton of God Wars Dungeon 1 stuff. So I've completed Krill, I've completed Grawdor, and I've completed Ziliana. The last one to complete is Armadillo, and I just need pet for that. So working towards that, I think it'll be fine. But some other things, Dagonoth Kings, slowly working towards those rings. The rings that I am still trying to collect, which is the range and the mage, are going to be in my combat gear tab, just because I'm still actually needing those, and these are more extra rings that I don't need. A ton of anima armor. Unfortunately, I was very unlucky at Helweir and got so many orbs and wands when I was literally looking for a crest. So I think I did recently like 1,200 KC just to get a single crest, which really sucks considering they're a 1 in 250. Some other God Wars Dungeon 1 stuff. Barrows, I'm working through quite well. I think I'm at like 300 KC right now, and I have 3 pieces of Linza, which is massive. So the faster I complete Linza, the faster I'm going to get title. So really looking forward to that. Some others Barrow stuff, an extra Malevolent Kite Shields, Matriarchs, almost done the spear. I am realizing I have a full scythe just sitting there, so I'll probably end up making that soon. Some ancestral robes. Carapac, 2 out of 3 on staff pieces. Probably should go back at that. And that is an extra wrist wraps and scripture. We have 4 G barges there. I can't believe I got so lucky on those, but we've been absolutely spooned at 82. 84, tons of reroll dice from all the different quests. I'm surprised they don't stack. Slivers, Crocius, 2 extra tops so far, and 2 bags. Telos, we have 2 orbs sitting at like 60 KC, which is crazy. And then some Archaeology core, we have a core. The essence there, I believe that is the Torva essence breakdown. So I am working towards, again, that Masterwork Spear of Annihilation. Slayer, nothing crazy. So again, just nice looking Slayer drops that I don't know what to do with. So we got an extra pair of Cinderbanes, Dragon, plate body stuff in there. We did end up getting, so it's not Slayer, but we did end up getting an extra Inquisitor piece. We're currently at a 2 out of 3 on the Pterosaur Maul as well. So 2 out of 3 seems to be a pretty common theme for me, but slowly working towards getting the Wilderness Slayer log, because that one's probably going to take the longest. So that's what you're going to see mostly through here. Some crystal shards for working through shapeshifters and all that jazz. Only 3 more to go. Okay, archaeology. We have our sets that we collect the most. So we have a couple of sets in there which are the high level stuff that we're going to want to disassemble for chance of high level perks. We have started working towards Green Gobbo Goodo 1 again. We're going to go for a Tetra Compass grind. It will get us some contracts, because before I use my Premier Artifact token to farm out daily porter grinds, as I believe all Ironmen should. So before I was using it to actually directly collect the contract stuff, but now I'm thinking it might be worth it to do the Tetra Compasses and get a bunch of those contracts simultaneously. I'm pretty healthy on contracts right now, so I'm not too worried. This is more like a long-term goal, but I figured it might be fun to try and do like 1,000 Tetras compasses at some point. So that might be something that we're doing in the future. We shall see. Nothing too elaborate here. This is my Arc grinding tabs. So just basically everything that I collect in the Arc, everything that I'm working towards to get the chimes to basically purchase the Sandy title. Oh my god, I just said Sandy when I meant Salty. Sorry. The Salty title, and as you can see, we've been making some pretty good progress. That's what those daily blue maps are used for, and obviously the maps that I purchased from Merchant. No red map yet, but I believe that we will get it soon in the next like 10 years. Finally, this is my tab of do not get rid of this. It's important, but I don't have anywhere to organizationally put it. So basically, this is all stuff that I know I'm going to get in the future, or I know I need, or I know that I want to like use or keep, or basically any of those, but I don't really have anywhere to put it, and I don't want it to be my top tab, because that is where all my clutter is going to go. And I just don't want to look at any of this stuff and be like, I don't need it, and throw it out, and then be like, oh, I needed it. So basically, it's just a bunch of like questing items or just high value things that I just want to keep, but I don't really have anywhere to like fit it in nicely into the rest of my bank. But anyways, the total account value as of 3 years is 20.5 billion GP. I would love to say I'm going to earn 1 trillion GP in the next like 10 years. I feel like it's not possible, but you know, it would be a fun clickbait title, so maybe we'll do it at some point. But yeah, this has been 3 years. I'm sorry it was so fast and dirty. Not really fast, actually. I feel like I went pretty in depth with a lot of things. But it was great to make a video again, and I'm looking forward to making more. So happy to actually be able to make content again. Nothing's really been stopping me. It's just my life has been incredibly busy, and I want to get back to this. So I will see you next month with the latest updates of 1 year to max. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.